loves me. I love money and money loves you. I love money and money loves us. Money, money, money. Magic money. All right. I want to talk about my real authentic feelings about hitting six figures, receiving six figures in 1 month. So I am a person who began, at a very low hourly rate. And well, actually, back when I was, first working, I had a pretty decently hourly wage. Let's see, it was like 2005. We said 2005. Now we say 2023 or 2021, but back then we didn't say 2005. We said 2005. So when I graduated high school, I came home and I actually started working with my sister. Well, actually, I was a nanny. If we go all the way back, I was nannying, making like $8 an hour, and then I got a job with my sister making $11 an hour in 2005. And then as I was going to college, I wanted to make sure I had a very good paying job, and I landed at USAA, which was one of the highest paying jobs I could find. And if I worked over like 6 p.m., I could make more money, shift differential. And so there were times I was making damn near close to like $20 an hour. And that was really, 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 really good back in 2005. But when I became a school teacher, like my first year salary was $30,000. I remember making a paycheck that was $900 for the 2 weeks. Like that was my first full teaching paycheck. I'm like $900 over 2 weeks. That's $450 a week. That was like a very small sum of money, but it was what was to be expected as a school teacher. So in my mind, I was like, well, this just is what it is. And I want to teach. I want to do these things. So this is how it's going to be. And that was my set money mindset. This is how much I receive because I am a teacher, and this is what is essentially set in stone. Don't expect to make a ton of money being a teacher. And that was like the mindset that I was at. I eventually did leave the teaching gig. I actually did both for a while. I did insurance plus teaching as much as I could because I didn't want to leave the money behind in the insurance world. And so I tried to do teaching. I tried to do insurance. I was literally working 60, 70, 80 hours a week sometimes between the two jobs and driving back and forth. And I was actually making a pretty decent amount of money doing both jobs, but I had no time. Like I was just reminiscing with Charmaine. She reminded me how often I would come to work like utterly hungover. Because the thing is I would work so hard, and then I'm like, well, it's the weekend, I get to go drink, and then but you could pick up the best hour. Like I needed to get in as many hours as I wanted on the weekend. So what I would do is I would go out drinking all night Friday, and then I would roll in at like 6 a.m. to a USAA shift, and there was no calls that early in the morning, but I got money just paid sitting at my desk. So I would literally just sleep at my desk with my earbuds, my headphones on, and then it would beep, and I'm like, thank you for calling USAA. This is Melissa speaking. How may I help you? And I would handle the phone call. But it was pretty rare to get phone calls that early in the morning. So to me, it was like a way of, partying all night, coming in for an 8-hour shift and making money. So I did that for a while. But eventually I couldn't sustain two jobs, and I just got stuck with teaching, because teaching is like who I am. Like giving up teaching is like taking away a piece of myself. Like I am teacher at heart. It is who I am. It is what I am, is teaching. So though eventually I had to get out of the teaching, the public school teaching arena. And I was so fortunate to land a job. And this is so crazy because it's coming up on my calendar right now. Like 7 years ago today, I was pissing in a jug so that I could test my cortisol levels. Like 2017 was like the year to change it all. 2017 was a really, really rough year for me. There was a lot of stuff going on medically because I was so stressed out because of everything else going on in my life. And I had cortisol levels were through the roof. chronic yeast infections. I had plaque psoriasis all over my body, random patches of skin issues. I had cradle cap on my face. I had all kinds of stuff going on. And I thought there had to be some crazy disease, running rampant in my body that was triggering all these things. And it ended up just being stress. And the Mayo Clinic handed me a CD for meditation. And I'm like, screw y'all, like this is nuts. You got to give me a medicine to fix this. I can't just breathe my way out of this. But lo and behold, I could. I figured that out later. I should have just started listening to the medication CD then. But anyway, I decided, since I was so stressed out, and then additionally, the reason I was so stressed was because at this time I had also adopted my eldest daughter, and she had a lot of trauma and there was a lot of stuff going on. I didn't know how to properly handle her. I didn't know how to take care of her. I myself had my own trauma that was coming up, and it was just a big old traumatic mess for all of us, and it stressed me out. Work also, I landed one of the best teaching jobs I'd ever had, and then they made me switch in the middle of the year to doing something else, and my workload like exponentially multiplied. And now I was literally at school sun up to sundown, working on, even later than that. I would frequently leave school at 9 p.m. and I would show up at 6 a.m. So 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'm at school, all day long and trying to accomplish these things. And it just completely stressed me out. And so 2017, I shaved my head. I was like, all the hair is going. We're shaving our head. We're restarting. This is going to be different. And it was the year that I decided that if I was going to be poor and broke, or if I was going to be stuck and broke, I might as well be free and broke. So I quit my teaching job at the end of the school year. I sold everything that didn't fit into the back of my SUV other than my bed. I moved into my friend's living room, put all my stuff under her bed, my bed in her living room. I had just enough space to walk around my bed from the kitchen into the living room area. I lived in her dining room with just one curtain for privacy. And I was like, my life has to look different. It has to change. I cannot continue to be this stressed out. I cannot continue to make small amounts of money for epic amounts of work. Something has to change. And at that point, my frequency changed to, I will not tolerate BS anymore to a certain level. Because like your BS barometer, like I just, my therapist and I were talking today, and he's like, you can handle a lot of stuff, a lot of shitty things for a long time, but at some point it's gonna get to a point. And for me, it got to that point in 2017. So I knew I needed to make huge changes. Drastic changes require drastic changes. Like that's something people are not willing to do. They're like, I want my life to look drastically different. What are you doing to make a change? Nothing. I'm just going to hope that someone else does something. I'm just going to hope that someone else comes along and says, hey, you get to live a better life. Boom, here you go. No, you have to be the one to take the action. Now, I'm not saying hustle. This is something that people get messed up all the time. They think they got to hustle to get stuff done. Like, I don't hustle. In April, our 6-figure month, I literally relaxed more than I have in the past year, because the baby, has finally gotten to a point where she's a little bit more, self-sufficient. She's not, constantly on me all the time. And the month of April, we took multiple, we went to Texas, I went to Arizona, we were on vacation, I was having fun, I was helping with family. Like, I didn't actually spend a lot of active hours on my business working on stuff. In fact, we did a lot of fun with like filming a documentary that my sister and I are making in Arizona. So the less work resulted in one of the biggest months money wise. But of course you do have to build it. I do. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the manifestation process in alignment with birth and how that looks. I'm going to have a class on that. But anyway, so I didn't hustle, but so back though in 2017, I was living in the living room and I started lifting and Ubering, substitute teaching, anything that wasn't permanent, but that allowed me to be able to make enough money to feed myself, pay my phone bill, pay my car bill, etc. And I was in this space of wanting more, wanting better for my life. I was willing to cut off things. I was willing to make drastic changes. I cut off, living in an apartment, having a lease, doing all these things. And I was like, things have to look different. Things need to be different. I don't want to just work and die for a paycheck. I want to enjoy my life. I want to have freedom. I want to have flexibility. I want to be able to travel. And the closest thing my mind can grab at that time was like, well, maybe if you live in a van, live in a van life, drive around the country. And I ended up manifesting the next best thing, which was a job teaching insurance that flew me all around the country. So I had told myself that I wasn't going to go back to like a job, but this was not like a job. This was go run around the country teaching something you love to talk about. I love to talk about insurance. And while you're doing it, here's a corporate credit card where you can go to eat at all these restaurants and have a good time. And I did that for a couple of years. And in fact, I even tattooed an airplane on my arm with a leaf behind it to represent change and new beginnings and stuff. And it was an amazing time. It really raised my level of like what I should expect in my life and what gets to happen for me. And I had one of the highest paying careers I had up to that point. I think I started somewhere around like 52, which was insane to me at the time, because like the highest teaching salary I'd ever gotten as a school teacher was like 40,000 a year. So to go to 52, that was really magical. And so and to think now I just made 100, I made double that in 1 month. Like I worked a whole year to make $52,000. And then this last month, I went on vacation twice, had a lot of fun with my family, and I made 100,000. Like, we really need to shift our beliefs about money. Like, we think it's so hard to make money. We think it's impossible to make money. We think big amounts of money are for lucky people and not for us. I'm just an us, guys. Like, I'm not a crazy lucky person. I'm a person who wanted drastic changes, so I made drastic changes. I sold everything, moved into my friend's living room and said, I will not accept any BS anymore. I want a better life, and I will demand a better life, and I will go after a better life. I made changes. I didn't just wallow in my pity. But once I was willing to make the changes, once I was willing to be different, show up different, all the wonderful stuff came in. So I did that for a few years, traveling around the country. I got to visit more family than I've ever visited in all my life. I got to have so much fun doing what I was doing, teaching in different places, traveling and trying out different restaurants. It was so fun. But then COVID happened. And now I was back in front of a computer, sitting at my desk, feeling obligated to sit there because I had a job, and checking emails. And there's always like this, I try to explain it like this way, like abundance gets to be more on top of more. And so what that means is you may have an idea of like what it is you want to manifest, and you think it's like the most amazing thing ever. And then you get that. And then for a minute, it's like amazing, but then it's not so amazing. But that's because you get to have more on top of more, that there's something else you want to manifest, something else that you want to bring in for a desire. And so while I had the amazing job for 2 years traveling around the country, COVID happened. Now I'm behind a computer, and it was no longer feeling good like it was before. It had shifted. Now I'm in a space of, okay, I'm making more money than I ever have before. I'm like double what my lowest teaching salary was. I'm doing something I enjoy, teaching the insurance exam, but now I'm behind a computer again, and I'm not out traveling and stuff like that. So I started to get dissatisfied with my position. And I needed something else to be different. I needed to have a change. So I started seeking, what can I do differently? What else can happen for me? Again, drastic changes require drastic changes. So I started seeking a way to change my situation. And I also was married at this time in my second marriage. And there was a lot of things going on internally and emotionally. And I did a lot of therapy work. I did all kinds of healing. I did all kinds of things because I myself was being a person I didn't enjoy being. And I wanted to make some changes. And when I want to make a change, I go all in to make this change, because drastic changes require drastic changes. You can't wait for things to change. You have to be the one to make the ripple of change happen. Do not wait for an invitation from someone else. Do not wait for permission from someone else. You want a drastic change, make a drastic change. So I started figuring out, okay, what else can I do? And there's this guy on YouTube, Aaron Doughty, who basically just has this like piece of paper behind him, and he draws with a marker and he explains stuff like the law of attraction. And he had this class or this course called the Fulltime Purpose, where you get put into a group with a bunch of other people who are wanting to make money doing their passions. And so I started there, and I started like checking into other people and started playing around with the idea of I could have a YouTube channel. And then I got introduced to the idea. And then at this time, there's this job opportunity that I for sure believe is mine, because it was with one of the companies that always had me to come teach. And it was $100,000. And I believe that job was mine. And it raised my frequency to expect and believe that I should be earning $100,000 for doing what I'm doing. I ended up not getting that job, but it changed the belief in me that I should be earning a minimum 6 figures in 1 year. So I'm in this group with other people though. They're all talking about starting their own businesses, doing a YouTube channel. I really wanted a YouTube channel speaking about the insurance exam, but there was no way I can do it while working at the company that I worked for. And I played around with like different ideas of YouTube channels, but what ended up happening was the most magical thing. When you're ready, when you're in a space to say, I'm ready for drastic changes, let's make some drastic changes. The company that I was working for, I didn't quit. They outlined that you have to get vaccinated. I didn't want it. I don't care what your opinion is. If you want it, cool. If I didn't want it, I don't have any arguments about it. I don't have no legal things about it. I could care less. I just didn't want it. And so it basically kicked me out of that job. And it was kind of like this most freeing, liberating moment because I decided what was right for me was not to do that because I just didn't want to do it. And I entered this new frequency of I get to live my truth. I get to live according to what I feel. Like before I felt broke and stuck, and now I was going to feel free. I was like, at least if I'm going to be broken stuck, let me be broken free. And now it was like, I get to make choices that are right for me and speak in my truth. And my truth was that I did not want the vaccine. So I lost that position. And for me, it was actually so liberating because if I had quit, I would have felt weird about quitting and starting the YouTube channel. It just didn't feel right to me to be like, I'm quitting this job just so I can start a YouTube channel doing exactly what I'm doing now. They let me go. It gave me this huge sense of freedom that I could just go ahead and start doing what I was doing. So I started the YouTube channel. I had no idea how it was going to work or what was going to happen. I just started putting videos of out there me teaching. And in the first year, I made $100,000, which in my mind was what I now believe that I should be making because I had that job opportunity that ended up not working out, but it really set the belief in me that I should be making $100,000. So then I began learning that if I set the belief and I anchor in that belief and I hold that belief and I start moving with that belief in mind, that I could really truly create anything. So then I started playing around with small numbers. And it's going to sound big to you potentially, but for me it was small number. Okay, I want to make, $10,000 a month. And actually I didn't even keep it at 10,000. I didn't even talk in months yet. I was talking days because days felt a little bit easier. In my business, I was very quickly making $200 a day. And I decided if I can make $200 a day, I can make $1,000 a day. Because $1,000 a day, essentially in my world, was 10 people needing help passing their insurance exam. Now if I were to look at my YouTube channel, there's like way more than 10 people watching my YouTube channel a day. So I only needed a teeny tiny fraction of them to buy my $97 package. And so 10 people a day buying my $97 package meant $1,000 a day. And it was easy to see that that was possible because so many people were watching my YouTube channel. So that belief was easy to like hold into my body. And then I started saying it out loud. This is the one key thing that a lot of us are missing when we're trying to manifest something is we don't tell anybody. We don't want to tell anybody until we manifest it, because if we tell them and don't manifest it, then we feel like we're an idiot and we feel like we look stupid. And then we hate that. We hate that feeling of looking stupid in front of other people. So I started speaking it out loud. I started saying it out loud. I started posting it out loud. I started chanting it. $1,000 a day every day, $1,000 a day every day, $1,000 a day every day, $1,000 a day every day. What I was doing is making it normal for me. I was making it normal for me to hear and see $1,000 a day by repeating it to myself, by saying it out loud, by declaring it with other people. I was making it normal. $1,000 days rolled in. Then we started saying 2,000, and actually only $1,000 or $2,000 days came in. And then I started saying $2,000 days. And what was interesting is more $1,000 days rolled in faster and hotter when I said $2,000 days than when I was saying $1,000 days. So then we jump, let's do $3,000 days. And I start rolling in $2,000 days faster and faster the more I was saying $3,000 days. Once we got to $3,000 days, we're now at like 60,000 a month, right? So I was like, okay, I feel a little bit safer now to talk about months and making money, that much money in a month. So then I was like, it was right around the $40,000 mark of a month that I was like, $100,000 months, let's go. So I started saying 6-figure months. In fact, I fixed my language because I was saying $100,000 a month. And I said, do not limit. I want 6 figures a month. 6 figures could be 9,999. I will not limit to 100,000. I will say 6 figures to leave it open. So then I literally walked in I put the baby to sleep. I wear her on my chest and I pat her butt, walking her to bed. And I would say 6-figure months every month, 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 6-figure months every month. I am not kidding. I do this. This is what I do. This is the work. And some people are like, I don't want to do that. It's so embarrassing. I'm outside in my yard, like doing this 6-figure months every month. In fact, there was a day David was inside. Some of his friends were inside. I was out walking the baby and I'm 6-figure months every month, 6-figure months every month, 6-figure months every month. And they were like, are you okay? Who are you talking to? And I'm like, myself, the universe. So like I literally speak into existence what I want, and I creating my belief system to anchor into that. The first time I said 6-figure months, do you think I was like, oh yeah, that's in the bag? No, there was a little bit of like, how am I going to do it? Do I need it? In fact, what was so crazy is there was at least 2 different people who came to me to ask for my services as the insurance exam queen, stating that they would bring in a minimum of 20 to 40,000 a month in business if we started working together, which would have easily crossed me over into the 6 figures. But working with them would have also meant that I would need to do a lot more work. And neither of these deals went through, which in now retrospect, the universe was saying, it gets to be easier than this. You do not need to make 6 figures by doing anything different. There's nothing really that we're doing different. I think we've introduced like 3 or 4 extra products, basically exam questions. I mainly just sell videos that I made a couple of years ago, right? So I did videos, maybe like 60-ish hours of video teaching classes over a few weeks, and then I put them into packages. And then we also, when I was pregnant, my COO went ahead and made some quizzes. And so we released the quizzes. We haven't really done anything new or different from what we were doing from like day one. And the universe is like, I'm going to show you that you can make 6 figures easily, without doing extra hard work, which is why I think the month of April landed so hard, because I went on vacation twice for the majority of the month. Most of the month of April, I was not answering emails or not doing, work. I was focused on hanging out with family, doing the trout tournament or the bass tournament with David, having fun with my sister in Arizona, chilling with our babies in the living room, filming stuff, having fun, throwing parties. Like I had the most fun in the month of April, relaxing and having a good time and not stressing out. And $100,000 lands in the month of April. So it gets to be easy. However, there is a little bit of a process. So and this is where I do want to have another video about manifestation and aligning it with birth. Like if we can understand the relationship of manifesting is very much like the relationship between a mother and a child. And in order to have the child, like, yeah, you have the amazing sex, which is fun and awesome, but then you have the birth, which is really freaking hard. And then you have the newborn stage, which is really freaking hard. So I'm not saying I did this without work. I did do work, but most of the work was internal. Most of the work was on my emotions. Most of the work was on my mindset. Most of the work was on my belief system. I was not sitting behind my computer for hours and hours on end trying to make this happen. All of it was pretty much organic. All of it was organic. I'm sorry, 100% of it was organic in terms of growth. More and more people just got to know me. I just made videos, put them up online, make a video, put it online, make a video, put it online. But me, hours behind a computer didn't really happen. That's not something that I needed to do in order for this business to grow successful. In fact, the things that I have done to make this business grow is to learn more, is to grow more, to evolve more. The money that I have spent working with Christine and doing her programs has served me far more than sitting behind my computer, trying to create something to sell or do something. Like it's already been made, and I just get to. I right now I'm making infinite amount of money on a video I made 2 years ago, and it just keeps making money, and it just keeps making money, and more people are coming in to buy it, and then the people who buy it shout from the rooftops how amazing it was, which causes other people to want to buy it. So I'm not even actively selling. Like, I'm not going out. Like, I mean, I go live on YouTube and people come in and ask me questions, but I'm not going to anyone's DMs. I'm not, trying to make business happen. Business just comes to me. People put the word out about what's coming to me. So anyway, so we celebrate $1 million in total revenue over the course of starting the business. And the same month, we're celebrating 6 figures in 1 month. And there were so many amazing things that happened this month. I did the Femme Fatale program with Melanie Ann Layer. I had a phone call with Melanie Ann Layer, who, if you didn't listen to my little video before this, she was a woman who in 2016 was living out of her car, in a horrible relationship, wanting better. She listens to a relationship course, figures out how she can have a better relationship, begins teaching other women how to do it, and is now blown up into a 70, 80, 90 million dollar business from 2016. And I started learning a lot of this stuff from her. And this is where I'm in this same space. Like she's like, it gets to be easy. It gets to be easy. Your business gets to be as big as you want. It gets to be as big as you want. You can make as much money as you want. You can have all your desires that you want. And this is coming from her course. And he even met Christine, my business coach and mentor, from the same, from Melanie's Facebook group. So this hitting $1 million in 6 figures in 1 month, to some level, you would think that would be like, oh my God. But it was more like, oh my God, I did it. Yay. Like, it was not this, I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. I'm celebrating. Heck yes. $1 million. I'm so super excited. In fact, I got a little video I got to drop for you guys because my sister surprised me with a party and it was amazing. And we had a video made for the party. So I'm not saying I'm not celebrating, but it didn't feel like blow my mind. Like making $7,000 the first time in 1 month blew my mind. This was back in like May. How funny is that? May. We're in the month of May. May of 2022. I had made $7,000 in my business in 1 month, and it blew my mind. I was like, OMG. The most amount of money I had earned in a month was like through a bonus, and it was like maybe $5,000. To have made $7,000 on my own, in my own business, blew my mind. I remember sending text messages. Oh, I got a stink bug flying around. I remember sending text messages to my family members like, oh my God, I made $7,000. When I made 100,000, it was like, yeah, I made 100,000. Because I made it normal to myself. I made it normal to myself. We separate ourselves from large sums of money by thinking large sums of money are far away from us. So if you think it's far away, it's going to be far away. If you think, 7,000 in 1 month is absolutely insane, it's going to be a lot harder to get it. So but it to me, it was insane. But I also, at that time, again, was looking day by day. I wasn't focusing month by month because it was a lot easier for me. If I tried to think making 10,000 in a month, that would have been like, bah. I just focused day by day. If I could see $200 of sales come into my PayPal, $200 of sales come into my website, that for me was a little bit easier. And then my coach had me, and there was a couple days where, of course, it wasn't exactly 200 every day. Sometimes it was more, sometimes it was a little bit less. Sometimes it was a lot more because I started selling like a royal treatment program. But I looked at it day by day because trying to look at it in 1 month was just too much for me. And then she was like, add up what you made. Take a look at everything. And I added it up, and that's when I realized I had hit 7,000. I had no idea it was that much. I didn't try to think about making large sums of money. I just at that point, I was trying to make sure my business is making money so that I could feed myself and take care of myself, and that I don't have to go back and get a job somewhere else, that what I'm doing is going to be okay. So when I hit 1 million and when I hit 100,000 together in the same month, right? So 1 million overall and 1,000 in 1 month. It was like, yeah, of course. Of course. And like now to me, like 1 million in 1 month doesn't necessarily seem that crazy. You probably like, oh my God, $1 million in 1 month. That would be insane. I used to think that. But now it's like money is just, it's just there and it's available and you could just grab the money when you need the money. And there, don't get me wrong, I still battle the old beliefs. So like recently we got a tax bill and I went, whoa, that's a lot of money. I'm not saying I don't struggle. I'm not saying it's like easy peasy, but my default setting now is like money gets to be easy. Money gets to flow in. Money is available and easy and a resource. And if I feel like I'm struggling with that, I will do so. I'll go out for a walk. I'll read a book. I'll talk with Christine. I'll go watch my reel from yesterday where I'm banging around. I'm like, moving the energy out of my body. A belief that money is hard or difficult is just an energy trapped in your body and you can release that energy. But for me now, it's like more about just making it normal. I'm making it normal that I should be making 6 figures in 1 month. I want to make it normal that I should be making $1 million in 1 month. $1 million a month is only 12 million. And I'm like, we should be at like 20, 40 million minimum. So like I've changed my frequency over time. And this is something we need to understand about our manifestations. We separate ourselves from what we're manifesting by putting it on a pedestal. I didn't put 6 figures on a pedestal. I didn't think, I mean, maybe at the beginning I did, but then I made it in 1 year. And then I was like, wow, if I can make it in 1 year, I wonder how much faster I can make it. And if you look at like how much, like the first year we made 126, something 136, something like that. The next year we made 400,000. So I like made it 4 times faster because it was like, like, of course I should be making that much money. And then in the month of May, we're almost, I mean, we're already at 300,000. Like we've, I mean, it's like, I don't know the exact, like, it's crazy to me how quickly we are making money. Like if you were to put my COO, when she puts the numbers into a chart, like it has a hard time predicting where the line is. It just keeps going straight up. Because we're making so much money so fast, it just goes straight up. Like normally like a growth line looks like something like this, and ours just goes whoop. Because it's just straight up. Like I have no desire to stop receiving these large sums of money. In fact, it's normal. It's normal. It's normal. Making money is normal. Large sums of money is normal. Having as much money as I want in my bank account is normal. If we make it far away, if it becomes far away. If we make it impossible to get, it's impossible to get. It literally comes down to your belief system. What you believe to be true becomes true. It is that simple. What you believe to be true becomes true. What you believe to be true becomes true. What you believe to be true becomes true. Your beliefs are changeable. This is something that we struggle with because like religion or something like this will say you gotta, like, we get a weird thing about beliefs. But beliefs are something you can change. You can change a belief. You can say, I used to believe this and now I believe this and this is my new belief. And then you get to see evidence of it becoming real. You get to see evidence of it becoming possible. Your mind has this amazing thing. Well, it will search for what you believe to be true and show you the thing. Your brain has the power to do this. So this is this is like when you like when you buy a car, like when I bought a Prius, suddenly I was seeing Priuses everywhere because Priuses became normal to me and I was able to see them all the time. It's whatever you set in your mind as something. Like start small with manifesting. Think about something that, you know, like my sister did owls. She's like, I want to see an owl. Like, I'm going to see an owl. I want to see an owl. Randomly, in the middle of the day, she saw little baby owls in a field. Like, that's not normal to see little baby owls in a field. She got her owls. Okay. Like, start with something small and little and allow it to change your belief system. But believe, like, some people love to manifest a feather. I want to see a feather. And then you're walking along and then boom, there's a feather. Like it gets to be like, there's feathers right here, guys. You just manifested feathers. We get to change our belief system, and the further away you think something is, the further away it will be. So if you think $100,000 is way crazy and there's no way I can make 100,000, you're right. You're right. Whether you think you can or can't, you're right. Whatever you believe to be true will show up as true. Hardly, if ever, does the universe respond to us with something that is not something we believe to be true. So if you believe it to be true, it's going to be true. So if you think it's hard to start your own business, if you think it's hard to make 100,000, if you think it's hard to sell, all of those things will be true. You're right. Yes, you're right. But I choose to believe that making money is easy. I choose to believe I can have all the money I want and more. I choose to believe that sales come easily. I choose to believe that customers are coming in and lining up outside my door, that I don't even have to do a lot of work to get them to come in. Whatever you believe to be true shows up as true. What you believe to be true shows up as true. And if there's something that happens in your world that you're like, I believed it was true that it would be easy and this was not easy, you have to trust that there is a reason that you're going through that. So in the same way that when I talk about manifestation as like a birth system, like it's a co-creation between you and the universe. And when you think about it as like a mother and a child, it really begins to shift your reality. Should a child get everything they want the moment they want it? No. If my daughter gets a hold of like a tub of ice cream somehow, should I allow her to just gobble it all up in one sitting? No. It's not going to be good for her belly. It's not going to be good for her digestive system. It's not good. So when we're like, universe, give me $100,000. If the universe just boom, gave it to you, you might just blow it. You might not be able to receive it. You might have all these struggles with it. It's not necessarily the best for you to always receive your manifestations instantly. In fact, there might be something you need to learn. There might be something you need to experience. There might be a way you need to grow before you can receive the manifestation that you're wanting. And I want this, I see Melissa Dillon as one of the most well-known names on the globe, on the planet. I want every person in every country around the globe to have heard the name Melissa Dillon. And that we can learn. We have learned from Melissa Dillon. She teaches us these amazing things about manifesting. She teaches us how to live our lives amazing. She teaches us how to live our best life. If I want something that big, I need to be able to hold something that big. I'm going to need to be able to hold haters. I'm going to need people. I'm going to be able to understand that just because everyone knows my name doesn't mean everyone's going to be happy to know my name. There are going to be people who come at me, who attack me. It's even happened with Melanie Ann Layer. She one time had this whole thing of these people attacking her and coming after her for her business and what she was got going on. She needed to be able to hold that. She needed to be able to receive a ton of people hating her, tearing down her name, and calling her names and all this stuff, and still get up the next day and do what she's doing and not be bothered or swayed by that. Not everybody is in a place to be able to handle it. If I want to be a household name on the entire planet, I have to be prepared for things that are not going to be the best things. I need to be prepared for people coming at me. I need to be prepared to manage like my safety, all kinds of stuff. If everyone knew about me tomorrow, I probably wouldn't be prepared for that. And I understand that there are things I'm going to have to go through, things that I'm going to have to experience, muscle that I'm going to have to develop spiritually and energetically to be that big. So if you are manifesting something and it's not coming as quickly as you think it is, you have to understand that you are being prepared to be a person who can hold and handle that manifestation, whatever it is. I can tell you that if I had made the amount of money I've made recently, when I was in my 20s, when I first was like, I want to make $1 million, like I would not, out me drinking out in the clubs all the time. No, $1 million for me at that point would not have been good. I probably would have found myself, drunk, dead, drugged on a floor somewhere. I don't know, just because it was fun. Me making $1 million back then would not have been good. I needed to go through what I went through and learn what I needed to learn to be prepared to handle it now. So we have to trust that the manifestations, when or if they come, like for me, it's a win, not an if now, because if I believe I have the desire, I believe that it's meant for me. I have to trust that it will show up when it needs to show up, and that anytime it's taking a while to show up, it is because I am developing the skills that I need to be able to hold that. There's no point where you manifest no problems. So this is another thing that prevents us from manifesting something, is that we think that we will be problem free when we manifest the thing. All my problems will be gone if I have this thing. And the universe is like, no, honey, you will never not have problems. That is the human experience. There will always be something. Someone will always steal your cookie. Your car could crash. The fire can fire. Like, things can always happen. And if you can't hold the pain, if you can't hold whatever that is, you can't manifest the thing, because then you'll just deflate and just be like, what? You have to be strong enough to be able to hold whatever it is you're asking for. The bigger something you're asking for, the more you as a person have to grow and develop and evolve. I am a completely different person. Go back on my Facebook. Go back a little bit. Start watching a video. Completely different person. I have grown and evolved into the person that I am. And now I identify as a multimillionaire, which is a completely different identity than what I had back when I was starting my business. I did not identify as a multimillionaire. I spoke differently. I talked differently. I looked differently. Now I identify as a multimillionaire, and I am a completely different person. We have to grow and evolve to be able to hold and handle the thing that we are manifesting. There will be multiple iterations of me, I imagine, before I get to a household name across the planet. And that who I am and how I operate and how I talk will look a lot different than how I'm talking and acting today. Because today I identify as a multimillionaire. Eventually I'm going to identify as the world's teacher. Everyone around the planet knows me and learns from me. That's where I am going. That's what's happening. And see, I am speaking it into existence. I am telling it to you. There are 12 people watching this video, and there will be 100 more watching this video who are now seeing Melissa Dillon as the world's teacher. And now the reason that speaking it is so powerful is because now 13 of you are manifesting it with me. And then when I put it on my YouTube channel, 100 more people are manifesting it with me. They see it with me. We have to speak into existence what we want. Speak into life the things that you want. One of the biggest things my sister took away from watching my journey, because she had some struggles watching me on my journey of going from starting my business, making $220 my first month, to hitting my first million. She herself went through some internal battles and struggles of watching that, because she herself believed that large sums of money makes you a terrible person. She believed that. She was like, money makes you greedy. Money makes you awful. I don't need that amount of money. I want just enough money so that I can live and be okay. And Melissa can have all that money, but it's going to make her an evil person. That was one of the beliefs that she had in her mind. But she forgot, like, money simply amplifies who you are. It doesn't change who you are. It amplifies who you are. I am a kind, generous, giving person. That has never changed. Even in the days where I was kicking back alcohol at the bar, everybody around me got a drink. I was like, I'm drinking, you're drinking. Woo, shots for everyone. I have always been this way. She even shared at the party. She's like, when Melissa and I got our first apartment, we went to Costco and we were buying all this stuff to feed ourselves and to have at the house. And she was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for all this. And I was like, don't worry, I got it. I bought everything. And I was like, if I have $1, we have $1. That's just how I am with my people, with my family. Like, money simply amplifies who you are, which is why I think it's so amazing that I had to do a lot of internal work first before I got to the point of being able to make large sums of money. So if you are a person who struggles with money and the beliefs about money and what it is, making a ton of money will make you go, it like upsets your nervous system. You got to be able to have a calm, cool nervous system when these things happen, and or the ability to quickly change your nervous system or calm down your nervous system. And you got to have tools in place for that. Trauma work, healing work, breath work, all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of things that I do learn in order to get me into the vibration of being able to handle big, scary things. $1 million is a big, scary thing. It is. How many of you would be like, let's make it scary? If you're not in a space to be able to handle that in your body, the universe cannot give it to you because the universe doesn't want to freak you out. It doesn't want to give you more than what you can hold and handle. So anyway, I've been talking for a while. The baby's out there. Oh, ending up 44 minutes. I love you all so much. Speak into existence what it is you want. Speak it. Say it out loud. Begin to share it. And that is what we do in Magic Money. So if you're like, I am terrified to tell people that I would like to make more money. Like, it's hard for me to say that I would like to have $1 million. Like, who, oh my God. I like barely make any money at my job. Like, who am I to say I want to make $1 million? I don't even have an avenue of making that happen. There's no way. And so it's hard for us to speak about it because we are like, I can't even, if we don't feel comfortable talking about it until we can see an avenue of it happening. But you got to be comfortable talking about it in order to make the avenue happen. She Who Leads Herself. That's the book I just got from Alpha Femme. She Who Leads Herself. Don't wait for an avenue to open up for you to be able to make $1 million. Make the avenue. Make the avenue. I made the avenue for 6 figures. I made it. I said 6 figures a month every month. 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 6 figure months every month. 6 figure a month every month. I literally, boom, boom, boom. I made the avenue. I made the belief system. I made the pathway in my brain. And the universe responded with a way to make that happen easier than I did. I imagined I have to partner with business. I imagined I had to make an ad on Facebook. I imagined I had to make more products. No, the universe knocked every single one of those down. Oh, business party? You think you're going to make money with them? Boom, they're never going to email you again. Like, it gets to be a lot easier. And it came from the work that I did, and I didn't have to do all new work to make it happen. Like, that's the magic. I didn't have to make all new work to make it happen. I had the same work, and it just kept growing and expanding in terms of the people coming into my world. And the more internal work that I did, the more people came in, the more the money came in. So if you are scared to talking about making big sums of money, if you are scared to say that out loud and you need a safe space, that's what Magic Money is for. So I created a Facebook membership called Magic Money. You get to join a Facebook group with me where it's like a playground for money. It's a place for you to just say and express, I want to make $1 million, without anyone going like, well, how are you going to do that? That's so stupid. You can't just make $1 million. You need to have a business plan. You got to invest. Like, you got to be born rich. Like, blah, 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 blah. You're going to meet all kinds of people like that in the world. Okay. If you want a space where you can say it and people will come in and celebrate you instead of terrorize you, that's what Magic is Money is for. You have to have a place to stretch your beliefs and to have people come in and say, yes, yes, we believe with you. Yes, you get to change your money mindset. Yes, you get to make $1 million. Yes, we are cheering you on. And that is what Magic Money is for. And I made it so silly that it's only $33 a month. So that's what Magic Money with Melissa is being in a Facebook group, and you get to rub shoulders with multimillionaires. There's two. Well, I'm at least a one. Well, technically my business is worth multi-millions. So let's be clear. I am a multimillionaire. Okay. I could sell my business today because there is a buyer. I could sell my business today for multi-millions. So I'm a multimillionaire. We have another multimillionaire in the group, and you get to rub shoulders with us and be in our energy. And my sister said it. I took a screenshot of her post the other day. Actually, it was a comment. So she had made a post about how she shared her class and made, she was so in my frequency of $1,000 days every day. Like, that's one of the things she kept talking about in the documentary that we were making. She's like, Melissa just kept saying $1,000 days every day. She just kept saying $1,000 days every day. I haven't said $1,000 days every day in a long time. I've been saying 6-figure months. But for her, she set in the frequency of $1,000 days. And she rolled out her class and started making $1,000 a day. Like, boom, like that. She didn't even go to I was at $200 a month when I got started. It took me a minute to get to $200 a day. And she rolls out, boom, $1,000 a day, boom, $1,000 a day, boom, $1,000 a day. She just rolled up in it. And here's what she said, if I can find it. I think she was actually replying to you, Sky. Sky is up here in the comments right now. I remember Melissa chanting $1,000 days and watching it happen, and then $2,000 days and watching it happen, and then six-figure months, which she hit for the first time in April at my house. Watching her do all of this now, $1,000 days seem so simple, like a starting point as opposed to a goal. $1,000 days became her starting point because she saw me do it. So of course it happened faster with me. The vortex of evidence is overwhelming. This is a prime example of how being in someone's energy, having access to their energetic momentum and aligned thoughts actually sweeps you into the momentum and allows you to jump so quickly. So when you come into my Magic Money group, you are now aligning yourself with my multi-million-dollar energy, and you're going to be able to see leaps and bounds within your own bank account, within your own mindset, within your own beliefs for $33 a month. I like to make it super cheap, super simple, super easy for people to say, of course, of course. I had people argue with me about how cheap I made my insurance exam queen videos. They're like, they're so cheap. Your lowest package should at minimum be $100. My lowest package is at $27. $27. And we're making six figures a month with our lowest package being $27. People argued with me that I should not be selling my stuff so cheap. And I was like, no, I want to make it so simple that someone doesn't have to struggle with coming up with the money to buy the thing. I want it to be so simple. So when I came up with my Magic Money, my mentor was like, so it's like going to be like what, like $300 a month minimum? I'm like, no, 33. I want people to easily jump into a space where they can play with money and change their money mindset and be swarming up in my $1 million energy in a simple Facebook group where we have fun and we play games. We play games in there. We play this game called I'm So Rich. I'm so rich, I buy soft toilet paper. I'm so rich, I can throw food away. You wouldn't believe how much that changes your mindset about money. Because most of us keep thinking, oh, I got to spend this. I got to spend that. I got to spend, oh my God, bill after bill. Switch your mind. I'm so rich, I can pay my phone bill. I'm so rich, I can pay my rent. I'm so rich, I bought brand name instead of generic. Like, it's amazing. So anyway, she also says, my sister says, this is why hiring someone in higher vibration to assist you can be so powerful. I can't wait to see how impacted the students will be just by being in the container up level, exposed to all this momentum. I'm so freaking pumped. And what's so interesting with my sister is she was doing things I wanted to do long before I did them. And we were in this space. I'm like, well, she's accelerated now. And then I'm accelerating. And we've been doing this like little tango of stuff. And then I just blew out of the water the money situation. And she watched it all happen. And then she's like, okay, I'm ready to make the jump. She had to shift so many money beliefs. My sister did. And she did them very, very quickly. And she's in the Magic Money too. And my sister is really, really good at manifesting stuff for free. So if you, like, so many of us are like, well, I want a car, but in order to get a car, I need to have money. So I'm going to focus on manifesting money. Stop. You don't need to focus on manifesting money to get the thing you want. Stop thinking that you have to have money to get the thing you want. Focus on the thing you want and allow either the money to come in or the thing to come in. My sister has gotten multiple vehicles, businesses handed to her. She does like shakes, smoothies and stuff, and she had somebody to say, here's my business, here's the keys, you can have the whole location, you can have everything inside of it, boom, here you go. Just hand it to her. She's had this happen multiple times, multiple vehicles, multiple situations. She just has been given free stuff. Okay, so it's not even like you have to have money to manifest the things that you want. So I'm gonna let you go because I hear my baby crying, and I love you so much. And y'all have an amazing day, and join $33 Magic Money. Get into my multi-million-dollar energy. Get up into this vibration. Get into a happy space where you feel, I'm so rich, I'm so rich, I'm so rich. Money flows easy, money flows easy. Woo! Woo! 6-figure months every month. 6-figure months every month. And then in the group, I do special lives. And every once in a while, we also have little meetings where you can come in and live and ask me questions. And it's been cool. And if you join the membership, you can watch all the replays that we have in there. And I would highly encourage you to go back and scroll because it is just loaded with amazingly good stuff. So as soon as you join the group, you can start going back to all the stuff and immediately making big shifts in your money mindset. So I love you all so much. Have an amazing day. I gotta go with my baby. I love you all. 6-figure months every month.